Loneliness, a feeling we have all experienced, can feel like a silent night casting emptiness over our hearts. But is loneliness truly something to fear? Or is it our perception that makes it seem so? In every moment of solitude, if we take the time to listen, we discover an opportunity to return to ourselves and notice what we often overlook amidst the rush of life. The Buddha taught that all emotions, including loneliness, are impermanent, like clouds drifting across the sky. When we let go of clinging, loneliness transforms into a teacher, guiding us to uncover the hidden strengths within. These include independence, compassion, and the ability to love ourselves. Let loneliness illuminate your path, helping you embrace life without losing yourself. May each day become a lesson in freedom and inner peace. Part 1. The truth about loneliness and its meaning. Loneliness is a feeling that all of us, to some extent, have experienced. Sometimes it arrives unexpectedly, like a chilly wind brushing through the soul. Other times, it lingers like a silent companion, never quite leaving your side. But have you ever wondered, is loneliness truly as frightening as we think it is? Or is it our perspective that casts it in such a somber light? In life, everyone has moments of feeling alone. Sitting by yourself in a quiet room, when the laughter and chatter of the crowd outside no longer reach you, your heart might feel empty. But that emptiness is not something to fear. It is simply a space, a void we often hesitate to face. Think of the stillness of the night sky. When the sun sets and darkness takes over, that is precisely when the stars shine their brightest. Loneliness is much the same. It is not darkness itself, but an opportunity to discover the small lights within your soul. Loneliness does not come to harm us. It comes to remind us that inside every person is a vibrant inner world, one we often neglect while chasing the noise of the outside world. Have you ever felt lonely even when surrounded by loved ones? This shows that loneliness is not merely the absence of others, but the distance between us and ourselves. Instead of fleeing from loneliness, we can embrace it as a chance to turn inward and hear the things we've ignored in the rush of life. The Buddha once taught that all emotions, including loneliness, are impermanent. They come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. So why fear something that is not eternal? What matters is how we perceive and confront it. If we see loneliness as an enemy, it will seem terrifying. But if we view it as a teacher, it can impart profound lessons about who we are. People often try to fill their loneliness with external things, friends, work, entertainment. But these are like thin layers of clothing that cannot truly shield the emptiness within. Have you ever asked yourself, what are we really trying to avoid? Could it be the fear of facing the truth, that we do not know how to love ourselves? When we learn to accept loneliness, we realize it is not something negative. On the contrary, it is a doorway to our inner world, a place where peace and wisdom await. The Buddha never said that life is easy. However, he taught that within every hardship lies the seed of liberation. Loneliness can be an opportunity to reconnect with our breath, to recognize that in every moment, we are alive. When you feel lonely, instead of trying to fill the void, try sitting still, closing your eyes, and listening to yourself. You might discover that loneliness is not as frightening as you thought. It is simply a part of the journey, a reminder that happiness does not come from external sources, but from within. If viewed in the right way, loneliness can become a friend that helps us grow. It does not come to make us suffer, but to remind us that within each person is a bright light waiting to be lit. So why not try facing loneliness with gratitude and openness? It might just guide us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the beauty of our inner world. Part 2. Finding freedom in loneliness. Loneliness is not merely a feeling, it is a state of mind. When we understand this, loneliness no longer binds us in fear. Instead, it opens a door to freedom. Have you ever wondered what truly makes loneliness uncomfortable? Is it the fear of being left behind or the emptiness within? When we reflect deeply, we see that loneliness itself does not hurt us. It is the expectations and attachments of the mind that create pain. We yearn for companionship, for love, for validation, and when those desires are unmet, we feel incomplete. But why do we cling to others to feel whole? The Buddha taught that the root of suffering lies in attachment and craving. We desire things to go our way. We hope others will fill the void within us. Yet by relying on external factors, we bind ourselves to dependency. Loneliness, on the other hand, is an invitation to release those attachments. Try to view your life on a broader scale. Each of us comes into this world alone and leaves it alone. The relationships and connections we form along the way are transient. So why let loneliness, something as natural as breathing, become a burden? Instead of resisting it, accept it as part of life, just as we accept day and night. Loneliness can be a space where we reconnect with our true essence. When there is no one else around, when the noise of society fades, we can begin to hear our inner voice. Perhaps what we truly need is not outside us. It lies in understanding ourselves and accepting that we are already complete in this very moment. You might ask, how can one find freedom in loneliness? The answer lies in changing your perspective. Instead of viewing loneliness as a lack, see it as an opportunity for exploration. Observe the feeling of loneliness calmly, without judgment. When you stop trying to push it away, you will realize that loneliness is no longer an enemy. It is simply a part of the human experience, like rain or sunshine. The Buddha taught that our mind is like a lake. When the lake is disturbed by wind, its surface ripples and cannot reflect the sky. But when the lake is still, it becomes clear, and the beauty of the sky is perfectly reflected. Loneliness is an opportunity for the mind to settle, allowing us to see our true nature. In that stillness, we can find freedom, unshackled from desires and fears. Freedom in loneliness does not mean abandoning relationships or withdrawing from the world. It means no longer depending on external things to feel whole. We can love without attachment, connect without losing ourselves. This is the deepest kind of freedom, and loneliness is one of the paths that can lead us there. Loneliness is not something that needs to be fixed. It is a state in which we can understand that happiness does not come from the presence of others, but from our connection with ourselves. Once we learn this lesson, loneliness ceases to be a source of fear. It becomes a companion, gently reminding us of the essence of freedom. Part 3. Transforming loneliness into inner strength. When understood correctly, loneliness is not a state of weakness. On the contrary, it is the source of inner strength that we often overlook. This strength is not about power or external control. It is the ability to stand firm on your own, no matter the circumstances around you. In life, we often seek support or companionship to feel secure. Yet, have you noticed that even in the middle of a crowd, there are moments when you feel lonely? This is because true strength does not come from others. It comes from within you. Imagine loneliness as a small flame. If we fail to understand it, that flame can consume our sense of stability and peace. But if we know how to nurture it, the flame becomes a source of light, illuminating our path through darkness. Inner strength is the ability to transform the fire of loneliness into the light of understanding and peace. The Buddha taught that every one of us possesses Buddha nature, an innate energy of enlightenment, wisdom, and compassion. However, to access this energy, we need stillness and the courage to face ourselves. Loneliness, when embraced, becomes the space where we can practice this. When you sit with loneliness, not resisting it, not judging it, you begin to see clearly what is happening within your mind. It might be fear, anger, or unacknowledged desires. These are not enemies, but signposts that help you understand yourself more deeply. When you stop running from these emotions, you realize they no longer have the power to control you. That is when you discover your true inner strength. You might ask, how can loneliness be transformed into strength? First, accept it as a natural part of life. Do not try to push it away, nor fill it with fleeting distractions. Instead, use your time alone to look deeply into your soul. Ask yourself, do my current feelings truly reflect who I am? What is it that makes me feel incomplete? By asking these questions, you create an opportunity to connect with your authentic self. As you gradually uncover the answers, you will see that loneliness is not an adversary, but a profound teacher, guiding you toward your inner power and wholeness. Secondly, turn loneliness into an opportunity for self-improvement. In silence, you can uncover abilities you never knew you had. It could be discovering a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply cultivating a deeper appreciation for life. When you focus on personal growth, loneliness stops being a burden and becomes a driving force for your development. Thirdly, connect with yourself through compassion. Facing loneliness may bring pain or even despair. But remember, those emotions are not you. They are waves on the surface of the lake of your mind. Show yourself the same kindness you would offer a friend in need of comfort. Compassion not only soothes the pain, but also helps you recognize your intrinsic worth. Finally, realize that loneliness is not a permanent state. It is part of life's natural cycle, like day and night, winter and spring. When you learn to accept loneliness, it no longer binds you. Instead, you find freedom, and in that freedom lies the strength to overcome any challenge. When loneliness is understood and embraced, it ceases to be negative. It becomes a teacher, helping you grow and become stronger. Look at loneliness through the lens of gratitude, and you will see that it does not weaken you. Instead, it guides you to discover your inner strength, the strength of independence, wisdom, and compassion. Part 4. Embracing life without losing yourself. Once we understand and accept loneliness as a natural part of life, the next question arises: how can we immerse ourselves in the world without losing connection to ourselves? This is a profound lesson we all must practice, for life is not just about stillness, but also about harmonizing with the people and things around us. Life is ever moving. Relationships, work, and responsibilities flow around us like a constant stream. As we participate in this flow, it's easy to lose ourselves, letting the external voices drown out the call of our soul. But have you noticed that even amidst the vibrant rhythm of life, we can maintain an inner space of stillness? Imagine yourself as an ancient tree. Your roots dig deep into the earth, anchoring you firmly against any storm. At the same time, your branches stretch wide, embracing the sunlight, rain, and winds of life. Your roots symbolize your connection to yourself, your understanding and acceptance of who you are. Your branches represent how you interact with the world, your relationships and responsibilities. When your roots are strong, your branches can grow without fear of being swept away by any storm. The Buddha taught that we do not need to withdraw from the world to find peace. True peace does not come from avoidance, but from knowing how to live in the world without losing ourselves. This requires deep mindfulness, allowing us to discern what is truly essential and what merely disturbs our inner harmony. As we engage with life, we must remember that every person and situation we encounter is a mirror reflecting aspects of ourselves. If we feel uneasy around someone, it might indicate something within us that needs healing. If we feel anger or disappointment, it is an opportunity to understand our mind more deeply. Instead of judging or blaming, learn to observe. Observe to understand, and understand to cultivate love. By doing this, we maintain a balance, fully present in the world while deeply connected to ourselves. This balance allows us to grow, thrive, and contribute to life without ever losing the essence of who we are. You might ask, how can we balance living for ourselves and living for others? The answer lies in a clear understanding of your role and limits. You can love and help others, but you must also remember that you need care, too. Like a lamp, if its oil runs dry, the light will go out. Harmony is only possible when you nurture your own flame. One way to achieve this is by practicing presence. Whatever you do it with your full attention. When you are with others, truly listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. When you spend time with yourself, allow yourself to relax without any obligation to be productive. Presence connects you to the present moment, where there's no need to chase anything because everything you need is already here. The world around us is ever-changing, but when we cultivate a steady inner self, we won't be swept away. Remember, you don't need to abandon the world to find peace. Instead, learn how to live in it while maintaining your inner freedom. This is how you can embrace life without losing yourself. Finally, remember that every person you meet, every situation you face is a lesson. Every experience, whether good or bad, helps you grow. When you live with gratitude and openness, life stops being a struggle and becomes a journey of discovery. On this journey, loneliness is no longer something to fear, but a part of what helps you understand and love yourself more deeply. Always remember, you are not alone. In every breath, every step, the universe within you walks with you. Loneliness is not something to erase. It's a part of life, a reminder that you are already whole. I send my heartfelt gratitude to you for taking the time to listen and reflect with me. The journey of self-discovery is never easy, but every step brings valuable lessons. I bid you farewell with peace and hope that you always find light to guide you in moments that feel like the loneliest. May each day bring you mindfulness, inner tranquility, and a heart full of love. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.